What's going on, guys? My name is Brad, aka iPod Memorizer 11, and welcome back to the history of iPod. And I apologize for not uploading yesterday. I had a lot of work to do, and I didn't really foresee that, so yeah, I couldn't really get an upload out in time because I was too busy doing homework and stuff, so yeah, whatever. I may just have to double up on a video or something like that just to get through all the topics I need to, because I really expected to be double uploading all these last few days until Saturday, but since I didn't upload at all yesterday, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'll let you guys know in the future. Let's get into the next topic. This is going to be MW3 from November 2011 all the way up until November 2012, and this time was easily the best time I've had on Xbox, and I'll explain why to the best of my ability. This is the period where I had like most of my videos, so it's kind of easy to go off of them and kind of see what I was doing back then, kind of not, but let's just get into it and see what happened. So, Black Ops 1 coming to a close, I thought I was gonna like burn my disc or something because I just had like an absolute sheer hatred for it, but that obviously didn't go over because I'm still playing Black Ops 1 today, but MW3 came out, and this was when like everyone was getting on Xbox for some reason. We had the entire clan Red X at the time, and it was like, we had full party. I remember on the first day, I think my first game was like on Dome TDM with Alex, and I don't know why I remember this so vividly, but I got a triple predator on that, so I was like, yes, this is the best game ever. And then a couple hours later, we did full party headquarters, and then we did ground war later that night with all the Clan Red X guys, and this was kind of where I met Max, and I think Dominic as well, and a couple other people, and there was also this clan called CRG that, it was like a really redneck-oriented clan. Like, their clan emblem thing was like a Confederate flag on Black Ops 1, and they were just like the opposite of Red X, and we always tried to... nobody liked them, and we always did like clan wars and stuff, and it was just a bit hostile at the time, but kind of all in good fun, kind of not. But anyways, we kind of played with them a little, but after I realized they were really retarded, I kicked them out of our parties and stuff like that, along with Max eventually. I don't know how I started hating him, but anyways, we carried on the full party ground war lobbies and stuff for like another good week or two or so. And also I hit like my first actual clip, which was the 7-man stealth bomber. I'm sure if you've been subbed to my channel long enough, you'd have seen this clip because I used it in almost like every big upload that I've done so far, pretty much. And if you haven't seen it, then it's going to go in Synergetic anyways because it's one of my favorite clips. But yeah, this game was also the game I no-lifed the most. There was like some sort of competition I felt in my middle school to become like the first person to reach max prestige. I don't know why I did this, but this was back in middle school. I don't know what I was doing back then, so I just grinded the game hardcore. I reached 10th prestige eventually, like in January, late January, and then they came out with the extra 10 prestiges, so I just went to 11th after that. And like, within the first few weeks or so, I was going at a rate of about a prestige a week, and since I wasn't really doing anything, because I didn't have a computer to upload videos or record at all, so I was just playing a lot, and that's basically all I did. And whenever I did have, like, a clip to upload, I just went into my vault and rendered it really fast, and I do have a few of those. I have a really old playlist. It's not... You can't find it on my channel, but if you search through all of my playlists, you'll find all of my MW3 rendered clips from, like, the early MW3 days, if you guys want to watch those. Some of them are pretty good, some of them are just, like, meh. But they were good for the time for some reason. But I didn't end up getting my computer until Christmas of that year, and by then I was still, like, recording and stuff. And speaking of Christmas, I began doing infected lobbies with the entire Red X crew, and I didn't really record any live sessions of it until after I got my laptop, but I have one session of it on my channel, but it's extremely bad. The voice quality is really off, and game volume is too loud, and it's just not a good series in general, but if you want to watch it, I guess go right ahead. And I also have an infected session from last year. If you guys want to watch that, it's essentially the same thing, but just a bit more recent. So, anyways, we did infected lobbies for basically the entire Christmas break, and this was around the time I was like 7th Prestige or so, something like that. And that's essentially all we did, and that kind of slowed my prestiging process down, but it was really fun because all we really did, we got like 7 people together, started doing infected lobbies, and then we began inviting randoms into our games, and we did have a few 18-man lobbies to start off, but the way I got the infected lobby going was one of my friends from the MW2 S&D days. His name was Nas Charisma, I think. His game mode was like a Model 1887 with the Magnum Tack Knife and Scavenger and Hardline and Steady Aim. That was the primary class, and then the other infected people had no throwing knives and just a regular knife, so basically you could get into a spot where the infected can't knife you off immediately and just get a lot of kills. And I didn't really like that idea, so I took the game mode for my own because you can save recent modes that you have played, so I saved that in my vault, and I tweaked it to where you get throwing knives on it, and it was really fun. That's definitely the most balanced infected thing ever because the model, especially for back then, was really inconsistent, and the Magnum kind of compensated for it. Magnum compensated for range, model more for short range, and then the throwing knives made sure that you can't get into a high spot and like stay up there indefinitely until you run out of ammo or something like that. So it was a really fun time. I can't really emphasize how much fun it was, but that's all we did afterwards, and then it kind of died down after a while. Then it started picking back up over the summer, and then we didn't get any people to do it, so that was basically that. But also what we did in the lobbies, this was where the ZHC started. So basically the background behind this was that we were on Baccarat. We were by the Sea Dom flag, I think that's where it is. It's over by the docks on that map, by the side with the downed helicopter and the minigun, but we were camping over there, and I think I was dead at this time, but Alex and Bricky decided to form the Zombie Hunting Crew just as a funny name, and we were just surviving, and we always stuck together in a pack because if you were trying to go on your own, especially with pre-patch model, you were probably going to die, most likely, especially if you got swarmed because it was hard to move around and stuff. So we always banded together, and then we came up with the idea with Zombie Hunting Crew, and then we set some ground rules for joining the Zombie Hunting Crew, and basically what you had to do was either get 15 kills before getting infected, or getting a Moab, and if you get a Moab, then you become leader. And funny enough, there was one game of infected. We never thought that anyone would get a Moab because with the model, it's just too bad for you to stay alive for that long. And eventually you would get a hit marker and end up getting knifed, but somehow, some way, Dominic on Hard Hat, he was camping for quite a long time, but he managed to get a Moab, and as the rule goes, he became leader, but soon after the infected lobbies died out, so we just said screw you and took leadership away from him unofficially. So that's basically that. And basically we made fun of all the other people that weren't in ZHC. I know Brayden, for example, it took him forever to get into ZHC, and I think we held off on getting him into the clan until like June or something because you can never get to the required amount of kills and stuff, so that was pretty funny. And also a thing we did was Hidden Masters, and if you guys don't know what Hidden Masters is, it was a thing back in Black Ops 1. I don't know if they're still around now, it's been quite a while since I've seen anything by them, but what they did in Black Ops 1, they just hit around on random spots of the map, and you'd be pretty surprised with the spots we could come up with on Infected. Like, once you got Assassin, you could basically hide anywhere, and it was pretty hard to find people, especially in the beginning of the game. Bootleg and Hard Hat were definitely, not Hard Hat, but Baccarat, those were the biggest maps for hiding, and every single time Zach got like his perk bonus, and sometimes he didn't even get his perk bonus, he just went and hid wherever in like the most random places ever. One of them was on top of a dumpster next to a dom in the back corner area by this. It's really hard to explain, by the marketplace, I guess, by Adom, and he hit on top of a dumpster, and we thought that he was going to last the full 20 minutes, and also another rule, or another thing to get into ZHC, you could also survive the entire 20 minutes, but that's pretty much impossible unless you hid. And he ended up surviving for at least 15 minutes or something crazy like that, and then someone finally found him. So that was pretty interesting, and then he also hit on a really random spot on mission. It's extremely hard to explain, I can't explain that one, but that one was also really good. He survived about the same amount of time, and still to this day, nobody's ever survived to the full 20 minutes, so I highly doubt anyone's ever gonna finally accomplish that, because I haven't hosted an infected lobby in about a year now. And that's basically it on infected lobbies. We stopped afterwards, and we just went around on our own merry way. People were busy with school and stuff, so we didn't really have much time to do it, and when we did, it probably lasted for like an hour or so, because Public Match Infected came in, and we started doing that instead, but then once we realized it was kind of BS because they didn't add in throwing knives on the infected people on some of the game modes, we just went back to our own thing, and eventually when they started tweaking it to make it better, we started playing more Public Match Infected more and just trolling people and doing hidden master spots that we came up with in private match and trying to hide for the full 5 minutes or so, however long it was back then. And I think that's pretty much it for infected lobbies. And there was also a thing called Call the Community, and this was a charity event held by the Aviator. It was a full 8-hour charity event, and I was watching this when I was doing a project in 8th grade, and what it was, charity event, MLG rule sets, the teams were 4 YouTubers, and then they could pick like one pro player for their team, and I think the team that ended up winning was like T Martin and Optic Scumpy and Mark of J, and I think Ronaldinho as well, and probably one other person that I don't exactly remember, but this gave me, after watching like the full 8 hours, it was a really fun event, and they raised like quite a bit of money, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. But this really inspired me to try and do game battles type thing with the people in Red X, but I tried forming teams with them, and I formed like 3 teams of 4 or 5 people, and it didn't really work out because nobody ever got on the scheduled times. So I would schedule like a match for the weekend, and people would never get on for them, so that kind of fell apart pretty quickly, like within the first few weeks or so, so that went pretty well. And around that time, this was like late January, I hit 10th Prestige, so since I had nothing better to do, I started sniping, and this was kind of where I started recording for Nebula, and there really wasn't much. There weren't really many clips I started hitting because I was extremely terrible back then, and like the only clips I had for it were quad C4s and stuff like that, so I gave up on that pretty quickly. And I don't know what came about me, but I decided to start recording for an episode because episodes were like the cool thing for me back then. And this episode was going to be called Mesmerization. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see my first episode. It's really terrible, and that took me at least like a month and a half to record for that, and that's basically it on that. So, by like February, I started hating the game, and I started playing multi-COD like Black Ops 1, and I started trick-shotting on MW2 a little bit, but not that much. Brayden, he was going around on his different clans, and I was sometimes joining his 6-mans, and he became friends with a guy named Nosen, which I'll mention a bit later, and I guess I'll cover a little bit of what happened over the summer, because this includes Nosen and Brayden, and also a kid named Mikey. If you remember him from my videos from back then, he was a big person in all my videos, and then we stopped talking to him as the summer ended because he turned into a pretty big idiot, so I guess I can cover it now. So come summertime, I basically just played MW3 in the mornings when the lobbies were pretty decent. Otherwise, I was just waiting for people to get on during the afternoons, and then we would go on MW2 and 6-man, and that's basically all I did over the summer. Either that or I mixed in some Cops and Robbers on Black Ops 1. That was the most fun time ever. And I'll link some Shits and Gigs episodes. I definitely know, like, I forget which episodes. It's like 7, 8, or 9. One of those episodes, but those are basically, like, all Cops and Robbers episodes. And you could kind of tell how much fun we were having. It was like 2v2 or 3v2 or 3v3. And it's essentially like any other Cops and Robbers lobby, but Brandon made up the game mode, and we ended up playing that for the rest of the summer with Mikey and Braden and Alex and stuff. And that's basically all we did. And Mikey was always the worst person when it came to police brutality. And I'll just link the videos in the description. You just have to find out for yourself. I don't want this commentary getting too long. So anyways, I joined a clan called CTN. It stood for Creative Trickshot Nation, and what we did, we just went into S&D full parties, and we just went and hit clips like any other trickshotting team. That's basically all we did. During the summer, I went on like some huge dry streak. I didn't hit very many clips that I thought were good. Like, I hit, I don't exactly remember which clips I hit, but I know I hit like a few MW3 clips during that time, but they were like really bad and stuff. But I didn't hit any trick shots except for one suicide, which was set up by Braden's brother. And I don't know why we were freaking out all over that, but in that game, 3 people hit trick shots. Mikey hits like some pistol swap, and then the next round I hit a clip, and then the next one Tyler hit a fade shot in that game. But it was all set up on Braden's brother, so it wasn't even usable. But that's basically what we did whenever CTN people weren't on. We just 6-man with Mikey and Braden and Tyler even, and a couple. There was one kid, Desire, and maybe, just maybe, Tommy, but most of the time we had him go on the other team to set up because he was a random at the time. Or maybe even Bryson, and that's basically all we did. And I know my Shits and Gigs episodes have quite a few MW2 S&D clips if you want to go see those. I'll link those in the description, but eventually CTN fell apart because Nosen, he always ends up ending the clan like a few months after he makes them, and then like a week later he makes a new clan and invites the same people in them, it's just under a different name. But that's basically what he did. He ended CTN in July, and he ended up starting up Habits, and Braden joined that clan for some reason. He went under the name Habits Prison, but the clan kind of ended pretty quickly, and there were only 4 members. It was like him, Mikey, and probably Desire even. I'm not exactly sure on that detail, but it ended pretty quickly. Nosen never really updated the clan channel at all, so I'm just going to assume that it fell apart pretty quickly. And Braden stopped using that gamertag, so I kind of took it over in Black Ops 2 when I ran out of live on my CT and IPod account. And that's basically it on that. After summer, we stopped talking to Mikey because he turned into an idiot. We pretty much did Cops and Robbers lobbies up until that time, and I kind of stopped playing MW3. I don't really know too much after that. I only remember like the summertime, but I'm pretty sure most of the time was spent in Ground War just trying to hit clips and really failing at it. And actually, until like the last month of like that year, I was trying to get like extra clips for the best of MW3, which I decided to start recording in January. And I just ended up stealing clips from all of my friends' vaults and compiling them into a video. That's literally all I did for the entire year. And so I tried getting some extra clips, and I was going into Ground War with reactions, and that's where I hit my Barrett multi, which was the first ever multi that I've ever hit, and probably the best sniper clip I've ever hit on MW3, unfortunately, because I really hate MW3, and I was always really bad at it. And I hit a sniper multi, and then when I was 6-man partying with him in demo, I got 6-man kill chain thingy in Demolition. So that's basically it. And then I released Best of MW3 on November 1st. That went down really well. I ended up like editing it in like the last week or so because I was procrastinating. I was stuck on the cinematic from my USES clip in the first song, And if you know anything about me, I really hate recording for cinematics, but sometimes they're necessary, but I just hold off on them as much as I can. And so I got stuck on the part where I had to record for cinematics, and I didn't start editing it for like another few weeks, and then it came down to the last week before the thing came out, so I had to grind it all out, and I ended up having to edit some of it like the night before, and then I finished it like right before, on the day of the upload, and I ended up uploading it like later that night, so that went down pretty well. Uploaded the remake, and I was supposed to schedule like a full daily upload schedule with my episode and a clip clear out and like some other live sessions and stuff, but that didn't pan out the way I wanted to. The clips I sent to my editor, he bailed on me, and I ended up releasing Mesmerization Episode 2 that following December, and that's basically it, guys. So, that's my MW3 history compiled into 20 minutes, and I really didn't expect it to go this long, but there was a lot to cover, and I went back and forth quite a bit. But it was mostly just, like, quite a few topics, and that's essentially it. But in the next episode, I'll cover Black Ops 2, and later on I'm going to be covering a more detailed explanation of my clan history, because I still need to cover my Clan Red X days, my Amore clan days, and my CTN days in more detail. So, that's it, guys. I'll leave you guys for the next episode, so thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, see you guys later.